Hi, welcome to Senior Moments Successful Aging. I'm Mary Beals-Luedtka, your host. I'm the director for the Area Agency on Aging, NACOG, and this show is co-sponsored by the Division of Lifelong Learning at Yavapai College. Our producer is Danny Tomerlin, and you can always call Danny at 717-7607 if you have any questions about the show. You can also call the Area Agency on Aging toll-free if you ever have any questions about long-term supports and services. So please call us at 877-521-3500. Again, welcome to the show. I'm very excited. This is very, very timely because I welcome to the show one of my staff, Jana Bays. Hi, Jana.
Hi, how are you, Mary?
I'm great. Thank you for coming.
Not a problem.
You know, you drove all the way from Sholo.
Yes.
Yes, so it was quite the drive. So we appreciate you being here because you also serve this area.
Yes, all 4 counties.
And your title?
Medicare Benefits Coordinator.
Correct. So I want to start out, because I maybe don't know this, a little bit more about your background, how you came to be the Medicare Benefits Coordinator, and then we're going to talk about open enrollment.
Yay, my favorite. Well, I started out my journey as a nurse, working pediatric disabilities, children with disabilities from birth to 3 years old, and then moved on up to the school-age kids and was a certified occupational therapist for children with disabilities. Did that for about 13 years, and then got really involved in the disability community and the legal aspects of it. So I worked for the Department of Education as a Parent Information Network Specialist for 13 years. 13 is my number, so you have me for at least 13 years.
Oh, good.
And then I, in that aspect, I work with parents, educators, school administrators, teaching them about special education law, their rights, rights of the students, rights of the parents, rights of the teachers, and then moved on to transitioning into adults and worked as a director for an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities in group homes, daycare settings, and then there was only one last thing, and that was, you know, the over 65 population. So here I am.
Here you are.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful to have you because you've really taken this program to another level.
Thank you.
And I get to brag about that all the time. So I appreciate that. But I think let's start out by talking about what your program does.
Okay, a lot of people have the misnomer that the Medicare benefits, what we do is sign people up for Medicare A and B. That's pretty much automatic. What we do is troubleshoot and brainstorm for what's best for each individual from that point forward. Mm-hmm. Whether we take into consideration their income. Many times, once we find out what the income base is for a client, the ball gets rolling, and we can put them in and do applications for extra help for their Medicare Part B premiums, and their prescription drug plan premiums, and their copays and deductibles. And many of them are surprised. Really, there's that kind of help out there? Wow. And you're going to do this for me for free? Absolutely. Okay. And then some of what we do is the typical helping folks find Advantage plans that meet their needs, or supplement plans, help them understand which ones cover what kind of plans cover what aspects, and then prescription drug plan comparisons is our biggie. Many times prescription drug plans will change your medications on their formulary or kick it off of their formulary, so then you're paying 100% out of pocket. So for some folks that can be $1,000 up to $6,000 a month. Well, when you're making $1,400 a month, the numbers don't match.
No.
So we do drug comparisons and find them a plan that has all of their medications on their formulary, so they're paying the minimum copays.
It's nice to know that helps out there, because anytime you get to public benefits, Medicare included, it's a huge, huge, huge agency, and it's scary when you're trying to figure that out.
Absolutely. You'd think they would make it easier on folks once they turn 65 and make it, A, B, C, and they did, A, B, C, and D, but
it's not simple.
It's a maze.
Yeah.
It's a maze.
It's a maze.
And it's very hard to navigate, especially with the yearly changes.
We should have had you bring your box. I was amazed. You just recently gave a presentation for my council. Remember that day? And you brought this big box, and you kept pulling out manuals of the things that the counselors have to learn.
Yes.
Manual after manual
Yes.
after manual. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness, first of all, for your amazing training, but second of all, that people are willing to step up and learn all that.
Yes.
So that they can help someone else.
It's difficult to find somebody that really wants to take the time to learn all that knowledge
Yeah.
in order to be able to help folks.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't easy. It's 42 hours of
Training.
constant training, and then 10 to 20 hours of shadowing, and then you're on your own. But then every 2 weeks I send out email blasts or calls with updates, because it's ever changing.
It never changes. So yeah, you can't get bored being a Medicare counselor.
Oh, no.
So you're always looking for volunteers?
I've just recruited 5 more volunteers in Yavapai County.
Excellent.
One in Coconino County. Where I'm still needing volunteers is in Navajo and Apache County.
Okay.
It's hard to find.
It is
folks
hard
that
to
are,
find.
wanting to spend the time on the training, let alone a couple hours a month.
So, but if they were interested, could they call the toll-free number and maybe just put a inquiry in?
Absolutely. Just call the toll-free number at 877-521-3500 and let our intake know that you are wanting to inquire about being a Medicare volunteer.
Excellent. That way. And the ladies that answer the phone on that toll-free number, they are really great at directing anyone, where they need to go. So
Absolutely.
if you don't know any other numbers, just remember that one. So back to the program, when you talk about, help, what does that mean? I get help with if my income is a certain level, I get help with my premiums. What is that?
Okay. Through the Access program, they have a Medicare savings program that has 3 different kinds of help. They have a qualified Medicare beneficiary help, which pays your Part B premium, all of your deductibles for A and B, and some of your copays. Then you have the SLIMB, we call it, which is specified low-income Medicare beneficiary, which just pays your Medicare Part B premiums of $121.90, which is
$121.90.
Yes, that's food for most folks for a month.
Yeah.
And then the last bunch is like a pool of spillover money, which is qualified individual or QI1. And it's not guaranteed, but if there's money in there and their income is within the cap, we will definitely put an application in for them, knowing that it may go away in 6 months, 7 months, but we can always reapply the following year when that pool is refunded.
So what does it help with?
It pays the Part B premiums
Okay.
at $121.80 again.
Well, that could make a huge difference in somebody's life, and I think there's just not. I mean, you get a thing in the mail, right around when you're about ready to sign up for Medicare, but again, it's really complicated.
Yeah, and they don't automatically send out the low-income applications.
Right.
That's the first question I ask clients when they call is, did you receive an application in the mail? No. Didn't even know anything about any extra help.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a hidden gem.
And I know one of your missions is to make it a non-hidden gem.
Exactly. Everything that we do is reported, and that reporting goes towards how we're funded. And this year they've changed a little bit how we are going to be funded. And for the first time ever, and I've been pushing for this for years, and I don't think I had anything to do with it, but I guess a lot of other people were pushing too, that our funding is going to be based more on how much we save our clients. And last year alone, we helped about 2,400 clients, and we saved them over $233,000.
That's a lot of money. That's not chump change.
No, it's not.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, so that will boost our funding for our area, because we do have a lot of low-income folks in our 4 counties.
Yes, we do. More than people realize. And when you say you save them that money, really that puts it back in their pockets. They're not paying maybe full price for their drugs, and maybe they're no longer paying for Part B premium, and that way that money goes back into the local economy.
Absolutely.
So it's an economic booster as well.
Absolutely, which again helps with the Medicare cost, because now folks are able to eat properly, take care of themselves better. Yeah. They have that extra little bit of money to pay for copays, especially for specialists. because those copays are a little bit higher.
Are they?
And they can take care of ailments that they've left on the wayside because they could never afford to take care of it.
I'm glad you brought up the nutrition piece, because we're 15th in the nation, like in the bottom, for nutrition and malnourishment and for hunger in Arizona.
Wow.
So
That
anything
doesn't
we can
surprise
do
me.
to help folks eat better is critical, very critical.
Absolutely.
So it's open enrollment. What does that mean?
Open
Well, almost open
enrollment.
enrollment. When does it start? October?
October 15th through
Okay.
December 7th.
Yeah.
And this is a time where it's kind of like a game, the shell game, where you've got your Medicare and your insurance, where you've had it, and now all of a sudden you understand that, maybe I didn't need that Advantage plan, so let's drop that Advantage plan and go back to regular Medicare A and B. Well, if you do drop it, then you also need to pick up a prescription drug plan, or you will be penalized by, the feds. So
There's so many rules. Thank goodness you know them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It took me years to totally understand them, but they're all in the head now. As long as I don't get a traumatic brain injury. knock
You're
on
good to
wood,
go.
I'm good to go. But you can change back to regular Medicare A and B. You can also change from one Advantage plan to another Advantage plan. Suppose you have a Medicare Advantage plan that has a prescription drug plan attached, which is called an MAPD, and you just want a straight Advantage plan. Then you can also switch then from one to the other. And the biggest thing is this is the time when you switch from one prescription drug plan to another. So even if you're satisfied with your drug plan, it doesn't hurt to call us and let us compare it to the other prescription drug plans that are available in Arizona, because prescription drug plans put all of their medications on a formulary with tiers, and it's now tier 1 through 5. Used to just be 1 through 4. So all your brand name drugs are on tier 5. Your inhalers, a lot of your asthma medications, cancer medications on tier 4, and your popular medications are on 1, 2, and 3. Well, the lower the number, the lower the cost of your prescription. So if a prescription drug plan used to have a medication on tier 2, and now it's on tier 4, it's going to cost you more out of pocket.
Yeah.
So let's find a prescription drug plan that still has left it on tier 2, so that it's more money in your pocket instead of out of your pocket every month. And again, we do those comparisons for you for free. We can do them over the phone. We can do them one-on-one. We have counselors based in Yavapai, Coconino, Navajo, and Apache County. We do have open enrollment events that are done mostly in our senior centers in the 4 counties. So if you really want to work with somebody one-on-one and not just do it over the phone, you can call your local senior center and find out what days we're going to be there.
And the toll-free number would also know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so they could still, like I said, if you only can remember one number, and we only, is that 877-521-3500, you can call them and say, where's the nearest open enrollment event? I live in Camp Verde, or I live in Dewey. So, they can do that as well, because you keep them informed, because we work as a team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which makes it nice.
It does.
So, I know last year you served an amazing amount of people just during open enrollment.
Yes.
Yeah, it was, what did you say?
1,100.
1,100 people
over
just
1,100.
during open enrollment. And it is important to have that one-on-one if possible, but you can also do a lot over the phone.
Yes.
So, okay, so I get these pamphlets in my mailbox, and not yet, but I will soon. I'm making this up. And so I'm going to get some pamphlets, and it's from Humana, or it's from some Advantage plan. And we can counsel you, we'll help you through it. Why would I call you instead?
Well, number one, we're free. We're confidential. We're not working for a commission, off selling you a plan. We're not going to tell you to enroll in a plan that you don't need. Whereas many times those mailings, that's what they're prompted to do, is to increase how many plans a specific company can increase.
Yeah, they want to have so many people on the plan.
Yes.
So, and I'm not saying those companies aren't, but they have a bias.
Yeah,
And you don't.
exactly.
We don't accept any money from the insurance industry in the agency. We don't.
Or from our clients.
Or from our clients. And so I think that's why, it's the best kept secret. Folks need to know. Yeah. Call that 800 number, 877 number, so that they can use an unbiased, very well trained seasoned counselor, and whether that be a staff person or volunteer, I think the quality's the same.
Our volunteers have to go through the same trainings that our staff does.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned my bag of tricks.
Yeah, your big box of tricks.
Yes. When I first started, I was given a manual that was 6 years old, outdated, and a telephone. And said, okay, read this and call your clients. Okay, or sit on the phone, sit by the phone and wait for them to call. That wasn't working for me. I wanted and needed all of my staff to have the most up-to-date information, up-to-date trainings, so that they can be ahead of the changes that are going on, so that we can inform our clients. Because bottom line, that's what we do. We help them make informed decisions. Put all the cards out on the table, and that way they can pick and choose what is best for their needs and their income level, and go from there.
And really, so I'll finish your thought, because I like to brag about that too. So you developed a whole training program that really serves as a model. And your Medicare University is what it's called, and you have all these components that everyone has to learn, and that makes our counselors, all the better at what they do.
Yes, it used to be just basic Medicare, your A, B, C's, and D's. Part of this training is also the appeals process for Advantage plans, prescription drug plans, Medicare A and B, how to read your Medicare summary notices, your explanation of benefits, how to detect fraud, overcharges, upcharging. I've had one client in the past that called me and said, I have a billing here that says I need to pay $590 some. And it was my understanding that I only paid 20% of what Medicare didn't pay, and my supplement plan would cover that. But nobody paid. Why is that? So we made an appointment, and they came in. They were charged for a prosthetic arm. And this client had two wonderful arms that were
His.
That
Wow.
were, attached and had no problems. So again, there is what we call durable medical equipment fraud. And we did an appeal. It was taken off of their claims, and he was not responsible for the payment of it.
Wow. You got to look at that stuff carefully.
Yes.
And that's another thing you can do, though. I mean, I know right now it's open enrollment, so you're really, really focused, laser focused on trying to get people to look through their plans. But it seems to me, and no matter what office I'm in, there's Medicare clients coming in and out all the time. And one of the things they come in about is, I don't understand my bill.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you also have Senior Medicare Patrol.
Yes. Every one of our staff and our volunteers are trained on fraud and abuse, how to detect it, and how to follow through with it. We have two specialists that we call appeal specialists that we will then bring the case to, those two counselors, and one of them being me, so that we can go through the appeal process with you and get you started. And we will go there's 5 steps to an appeal process. We will go through all of the first 3 steps for you, and the 4th step is when, if it gets that far, is where you go to court. Sometimes it's over the phone, and that part of the process we cannot step in on.
Right.
But we can do all the follow-up afterwards also.
That's good to know, because that can be scary. I mean, your immediate thought is, oh my God, I have to get a lawyer. Not necessarily. I think they could start with you, and then, we'll see what happens from there. But
usually by the time we get to the 2nd step, going through AJC, it's completed. Either done. Somebody's found that, this is a fraudulent charge, it's an upcharge, it belonged to somebody whose Medicare number was 1 number off of yours, and someone just was typing too fast. So there's a lot of different variables.
There's always human error involved, but there's billions of dollars every year wasted in the Medicare program because of fraud.
70 million last year alone in Medicare fraud.
Wow.
Yep. The majority of it being in prescription drugs or in durable medical equipment.
Durable?
Durable?
Oh, it sounded like durable. I'm like, is that a name of Medicare? Okay, got it.
Durable medical equipment.
Durable. Well, this ear's getting a little bit not good, so that's my fault. I'm sorry. I'm like, durable medical. Is that a new brand? Anyway, okay, so durable medical equipment. Okay, yes. I got it now.
Yes.
So, and that's another thing. A lot of times folks don't know, what does Medicare cover? You know, especially
Yeah.
for those of us that are be new to it going on, you
Yes.
know, like I said, I've got a few years, but not many.
Yes.
You know, and I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. You know, oh, well, I'm going to have Medicare, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah. The newest push for Medicare, I just went through to 2 different conferences through CMS, and our big push for the next few years is to help folks really, truly understand preventative services, because they're free, and a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah.
When you first sign up for Medicare Part B, you're allowed a full physical. Okay, it's your Welcome to Medicare physical. After that, you're allowed 1 physical per year, but you don't call up and ask for a physical. You ask for your wellness check,
Okay.
your Medicare wellness check, because how it's coded will depend on whether it's free or not. So if your doctor's office understands that it's your wellness check, what they will use is use your first year as a baseline and your wellness check to see if there's any changes to your baseline and if there's any need for concern in any of your medical
And it's nice that
aspects.
they've added that over the last few years, because it's prevention is the key.
Yes.
You know, and as more and more of us baby boomers age, Medicare can't pay out for so many acute diseases at the rate that they were in the past.
Absolutely.
And prevention helps us contain costs.
Yes, or detect it earlier
Yeah.
so that it's costing less to
Yeah. It's better to be healthy,
it.
and you know, and it's like, I don't know. I'm not trying to be sexist here, but a lot of times men, my brother, I'm going to talk about him, just ignore things. And then they wait till it's like a real acute, oh my gosh, I have to have surgery thing.
Yes.
Rather than when there is a change in your annual, and when you have an annual, boom, let's check it now, let's fix it. Could be something very simple.
Yeah.
It could be really simple.
Absolutely.
Keep it simple. Kiss.
Kiss.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So again, open enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Now, if you've heard from your friends and your neighbors or the folks that you eat lunch with at the senior centers, or if you're under 65 with a disability, we haven't kind of touched on that.
Oh, no, we haven't.
Many folks that are under 65 with a disability are also on Medicare. Many of them can also qualify for the extra help. They don't realize that. They're not told that when they're first put on Medicare A and B. Arizona is not really up to date with many of the other states, whereas they do not mandate that supplement plans be sold to folks under 65. And your supplement plans are those plans that cover the 20% that Medicare Part B does not pay.
Medigap. Is that what the old Medigap was?
No,
It's
Medigap
different?
is an Advantage plan.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Medigap and supplement are the same
Okay.
thing. So your Medigap covers that gap that Medicare doesn't.
So
pay
here's
for.
another thing I want to make sure I get in too, though. A lot of people who get the supplement insurance and get the Medigap insurance think, oh, Medicare doesn't cover it, my Medigap insurance will. And I want you to
misnomer.
address that.
Okay. With a Medigap or supplement plan, they are sold, and that's what these mailings say. You know, we can make your life better. We will pay what Medicare doesn't pay on any of your medical issues. Well, if Medicare does not cover it, then your supplement plan will not either. So there's many instances where that will happen.
Yeah.
Second opinions on some issues. If one doctor prescribes or diagnoses you with something and prescribes specific tests that are very costly, such as CAT scans or MRIs, you do a second opinion, and Medicare doesn't pay for that second opinion, neither will your supplement or your Medigap plan.
So it pays for that gap, like your co-pays and your deductibles, right?
An F plan will pay your
Okay.
deductibles.
But on the Medigap, when you're buying a supplement, it's just paying for things that are approved by Medicare,
Yes.
but not paid for by Medicare. Is that right?
If Medicare pays their 80%, your supplement plan will pay the 20%.
The other 20. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
and
all
it's
it
not
is.
20% of the total, it's 20% of the Medicare approved
Approved.
amount.
It's the approved amount.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So when you're reading your Medicare summary notices, you're going to see different numbers. You're going to see total cost that was billed, what Medicare will approve as payment, and then the 80% that they will pay. And then it goes to your supplement or your Medigap plan, and they will pay that additional 20% of the Medicare approved amount.
Ay, ay, ay.
So you're never paying 100%. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
And now you know why it's such a maze.
Yeah, it is a
You know,
maze.
it's very hard to understand.
And it's
so-
good to know that, you know, the folks with disabilities that are getting ready to go on Medicare or on Medicare are also eligible. This program is not based on age.
No.
It's your eligibility for the program is based on your eligibility for Medicare.
Yep.
So, you know, this is where, you know, we do serve younger adults often when it comes to the Medicare issues. So.
Absolutely.
So they need to go to their senior centers or call the toll-free number.
Or call the toll-free number. That's the best way to reach us because they immediately send your call. And many times, while you're on the line, they will just send you directly to us and you will get a live person on the other end to start answering your Medicare questions.
Yeah, even though our main office is in Flagstaff, we have 4 offices, Cottonwood, Flagstaff, Prescott Valley, and Lakeside, and they can actually transfer a call from Central to any one of the offices right there, right then and there. And also you do have staff, and where are they located?
We have actual staff in the Cottonwood office
Right.
and in the Coconino County Flagstaff office. And then we have volunteers that actually retrieve messages from the Prescott Valley phones.
Yes, I know she
Yes.
does.
Oh, she's amazing. For a volunteer, I've never in my life seen a volunteer that's put in so many hours.
You know, somebody new comes on and they're like, isn't she staff?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, but yes, I mean, she is. But she volunteers her time and it's very valuable. And everything you do is valuable. I mean, it's just an amazing program and helps so many people. And we just want to make sure you know it's out there so that you can call either Jana or somebody on her staff to help her. Anything that I've left out before we wrap it up?
No, open enrollment, October 15th through December 7th. There's other issues that you can talk to us about if you have full VA benefits or if you're getting your medications through VA. If you are still on an employee retirement plan and you want to switch out of it, give us a call. We'll help walk you through it, kind of give you all the options so you can see which is best for you, both monetary and according to your needs. And we're here to help.
I know you are, and I appreciate. Thank you, Jana Bays, for being here with me. And don't forget, you know, we are in open enrollment. It's an important time for you to be looking over what you have, making sure it's valid for you now. Sometimes plans change through the year. You just want to make sure you have an eagle eye looking at that. So call the Area Agency on Aging at 877-521-3500 so that you have that expert help. And again, it doesn't cost you any money at all. So thank you so much for joining us today. And again, thank you, Jana Bays,
Thank you.
our Medicare coordinator for 4 counties, for helping us understand a little bit more about what this program does. This is Senior Moment, Successful Aging. I'm Mary Beals-Luedtka. Until next time.